everyone! My name is John Steiger. I'm the guy here at Puppet Trash, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Bin, where we take you behind the proverbial trash bin and we break down some of the builds we do here at Puppet Trash. Today, our episode is focused on a recent video we did called Ice Cream for Jazz, where we take a Ben & Jerry's ice cream pint and we turn it into a jazz singer. So let's take a look behind the bin and check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4!
Puppet Trash, yeah.
We're all set up here for Ice Cream for Jazz. I'm not gonna use the full audio for all of this just because I don't want it to get silenced. The song was originally done by the Mills Brothers. I'll play the last bit just because it's important to the piece. Check out the full short for the original audio. I'll put that at the end of the video here. So let's just jump in and do it. So forlorn. Nothing ice cream can't fix. So I know that you can't hear it on there, but I picked this song mostly because I wanted something that was a little bit older and jazzier. I was trying to find something, to be perfectly frank, I was trying to find something that was going to be public domain. I missed the mark on that, but I did discover the Mills Brothers and they're very good. It's an interesting song. It's an old song. I think this was 1928 or something like that. So some of the lyrics are a little bit interesting. Got a nice little jazzy vibe, beat, stuff like that. I like the drumming here. The core piece of trash for this was a Ben & Jerry's pint of ice cream. The inspiration kind of came from, on my way home from work, I always walk by a Ben & Jerry's. My brain just started like kind of wandering about that. I was like, okay, you know, Ben & Jerry's pint, what can we do with that? Well, I can see ahead. A lot of the builds that I'll do will kind of branch from how do we make it move? How do we make the mechanics actually work? And for this, it was kind of easy because if you flip it upside down, the bottom part can very easily be a jaw and the top is the head bit. And so as long as you can connect the two on a movable hinge, you've got yourself something there. So that was, okay, that's what we'll do. So now we go into, well, how do we make me laugh? That's essentially what we do. I love puns, so I was like, okay, ice cream, cold, cool, smooth, ice cream, cool, summer, jazz is cool, put sunglasses on it. So that's essentially where we went from, I like ice cream, I walk by this ice cream place all the time, what part of Ice Cream Trash can I use to, let's make a jazz singer. That's it. So that's the hinge. The hinge on this is loose, baby. I did a fantastic class with Tim Lagasse, and he had a great piece of advice I will never forget, and it was, it only needs to last as long as the shot. Basically meaning you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours making something that will last forever. It just has to last the length that you need it to last. And boy did this, because that piece of tape was not having it by the end of this take. So it's just a piece of packing tape that's holding these two together. But less was more in that regard because it allowed me to have the movement that I needed. Yeah, I made those sunglasses out of a stir stick and some black paper. That, I really like that. It's funny. It just makes me laugh. It is a ring, almost like a donut of cardboard that I cut out, and then some old black construction paper that I bent and folded in on itself to kind of give it that nice little dome structure. There was no reason for that other than, one, to add another element to build, and two, it made me laugh. So this is just a t-shirt. So the way that it kind of works out, I don't have this puppet anymore. Once I finished this video, this puppet was done, and that does happen sometimes. I don't keep every single puppet, unfortunately. Usually I'll recycle them because most of the materials I use can be recycled, fortunately. this one just wasn't worth keeping, which is all right. You know, it served its moment of happiness and joy, and we made something that I was really happy with and people really liked. And at the end of the day, that's all I can really ask for from these poor guys, is that they endure my abuse and then they make people laugh, and then we go on to the next one, you know? Not that they're disposable, but I think that's the benefit of also using materials like this. It's not precious. There's nothing about what I do is precious, other than to me it's precious because it makes me happy and I like making other people happy through this medium. But the item itself is not ingrained in some great, you know, I'm not spending hundreds of dollars on a build. Honestly, if I get lucky, I find the stuff I need. I think of the thing, it costs me nothing but time. But this t-shirt, we didn't get rid of. It was one that we have. And I had never worked with a sack puppet before. And my wife had just gotten me for my birthday one of the Monkey Boys DIY kits for a sack puppet. And so that kind of inspired this build. I was like, all right, let's see what it looks like with a sack puppet. Very difficult to do it with just a t-shirt, but that, you know, that's part of the learning curve. That's why you use so much felt on a sack puppet, is so that you can get a much wider range of movement and it's a bit easier for the puppeteer. It's just a t-shirt, and the way it's rigged in there is I cut a slot under the jaw or the lid of the pint. I looped it through a popsicle stick and then just safety pinned it together. So it's literally just hanging on there by a safety pin. And, well, I'll play the next bit, but you'll see, interesting enough. But that's essentially the torso. It's just a t-shirt. I hate myself. I love fast puppetry. If it's done right, it's incredible, and I think it is hysterical, and it is a dream of mine to one day become far along in my acting and puppeteering career to, like, I get to do something like a lip sync battle or something like that, and I would love to do Rap God by Eminem as a puppet. I don't know if it's actually physically possible, but I think it would be hysterical to see. If you want to see me try that, let me know. I'll give it a shot. I think we did okay with the syllables. It's really hard to tell, just because when you're in it, you're kind of like, you're just trying to hit the bop 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 bop. You don't want it. It's not a how fast can I go? How fast can I go? How fast can I go? It is a the beats, and then we know that ba da 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 ba 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 da 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 da. We won't hit every single syllable. It's just not possible, and our mouths don't move and hit every single syllable. Sometimes it stay open because you can do la 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 la. I haven't moved my mouth at all, but a puppet doesn't have a tongue, so you got to figure out what that's like. So that's kind of why I chose that bit, is because I like the difficulty of it, and I think it's hysterical. I really think it's funny. I don't know, it's just me. The issue we had, I found, was that the shirts was quite heavy, relatively speaking, to the build. So it wasn't so much opening the mouth that was the problem, it was closing the mouth that was the problem. So normally when you puppeteer, you open the mouth, and that's what kind of makes the thing go. The force is going down on the thumb. For depending on the puppet. But I'm used to the force going down with the thumb like this. With this, the force had to go up to fight against the weight of the shirt. So that was something kind of crazy to discover in the moment. But I think it worked out. I was quite happy with the movement of it. And then the hand too. Again, I'd never experienced my own hand in a sack puppet or two-person puppet like this. I've always either been the hand or the mouth. I always fall on the Frank Oz kind of methodology behind it, where the people who do the hand, the supporting hand for Frank Oz, pretty much don't do anything. They might counter every once in a while, but they really don't do much. I think that's a great idea, because very easily can a hand distract, and it should be a punctuation. It should be an added bonus or benefit to what's going on here. So I didn't try to do anything. I did a couple things here and there, but I didn't want to do anything. That is my hand, obviously. You can see it. All right, here's my favorite bit. Then we go. The trumpet I thought was funny. I thought the trumpet was a good bit. I spent hours painting the head and the trumpet, and then we went black and white. So it just goes to show you never know where something goes. But had I not gone black and white, I would have kicked myself if I hadn't painted it because it would have looked naff. So the trumpet is gold with a black outline, but only I know that. That's not true. No, that is true. That's true. I thought I put it in the before and after video because I didn't go black and white for the before and after video. But I used a lemon for that instead of a trumpet. So I think I still have that trumpet. Aha! Justification for work. There you go, kids. Never give up on your dreams. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Behind the Bin. I hope you enjoyed taking that little sneak peek at ice cream for jazz. I really enjoyed this build. It was very difficult in a lot of different ways. But that was part of the joy of it, was discovering these new problems and then figuring out how to get what we wanted. And I think it came out really well in the end. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Behind the Bin, for more shorts, for more everything, really. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Please, please, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And leave a comment. Is there a favorite piece of trash that you have that you kind of want to see turn into a puppet? Any ideas that you might want to see us try to do? I'm super open. There's so much trash out there that I don't think we'll ever run out of ideas. But thank you again so much. Stay kind, stay crafty, and we will see you next time Behind the Bin. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Puppet trash, yeah.